added the man. 109 francs 15 sous. And how long did it take you to earn that? 19 years. 19 years. The bishop sighed deeply. The man continued, I have still the whole of my money. In 4 days I have spent only 25 sous, which I earned by helping unload some wagons at Grasse. Since you are an abbé, I will tell you that we had a chaplain in the galleys. And one day I saw a bishop there. Monseigneur is what they call him. He was the Bishop of Majore at Marseilles. He is the curé who rules over the other curés, you understand. Pardon me, I say that very badly, but it is such a far-off thing to me. You understand what we are. He said Mass in the middle of the galleys, on an altar. He had a pointed thing, made of gold, on his head, it glittered in the bright light of midday. We were all ranged in lines on the 3 sides, with cannons with lighted matches facing us. We could not see very well. He spoke, but he was too far off, and we did not hear. That is what a bishop is like.
While he was speaking, the bishop had gone and shut the door, which had remained wide open. Madame Magloire returned. She brought a silver fork and spoon, which she placed on the table. Madame Magloire, said the bishop, place those things as near the fire as possible. And turning to his guest, the night wind is harsh on the Alps. You must be cold, sir. Each time that he uttered the word sir, in his voice which was so gently grave and polished, the man's face lighted up. Monsieur to a convict is like a glass of water to one of the shipwrecked of the Medusa. Ignominy thirsts for consideration. This lamp gives a very bad light, said the bishop. Madame Magloire understood him, and went to get the 2 silver candlesticks from the chimney-piece in Monseigneur's bedchamber, and placed them, lighted, on the table.
Monsieur le curé, said the man, you are good, you do not despise me. You receive me into your house. You light your candles for me. Yet I have not concealed from you whence I come and that I am an unfortunate man. The bishop, who was sitting close to him, gently touched his hand. You could not help telling me who you were. This is not my house, it is the house of Jesus Christ. This door does not demand of him who enters whether he has a name, but whether he has a grief. You suffer, you are hungry and thirsty, you are welcome. And do not thank me, do not say that I receive you in my house. No one is at home here, except the man who needs a refuge. I say to you, who are passing by, that you are much more at home here than I am myself. Everything here is yours. What need have I to know your name? Besides, before you told me you had one which I knew.
The man opened his eyes in astonishment. Really? You knew what I was called? Yes, replied the bishop, you are called my brother. Stop, Monsieur le curé, exclaimed the man. I was very hungry when I entered here, but you are so good, that I no longer know what has happened to me. The bishop looked at him, and said, You have suffered much? Oh, the red coat, the ball on the ankle, a plank to sleep on, heat, cold, toil, the convicts, the thrashings, the double chain for nothing, the cell for one word, even sick and in bed, still the chain. Dogs are happier. 19 years. I am 46. Now there is the yellow passport. That is what it is like.
Yes, resumed the bishop, you have come from a very sad place. Listen. There will be more joy in heaven over the tear-bathed face of a repentant sinner than over the white robes of 100 just men. If you emerge from that sad place with thoughts of hatred and of wrath against mankind, you are deserving of pity. If you emerge with thoughts of goodwill and of peace, you are more worthy than any one of us. In the meantime, Madame Magloire had served supper, soup, made with water, oil, bread, and salt, a little bacon, a bit of mutton, figs, a fresh cheese, and a large loaf of rye bread. She had, of her own accord, added to the bishop's ordinary fare a bottle of his old Meuse wine. The bishop's face at once assumed that expression of gaiety which is peculiar to hospitable natures. To table, he cried vivaciously. As was his custom when a stranger supped with him, he made the man sit on his right. Mademoiselle Baptistin, perfectly peaceable and natural, took her seat at his left.
The bishop asked a blessing, then helped the soup himself, according to his custom. The man began to eat with avidity. All at once the bishop said, "It strikes me there is something missing on this table." Madame Magloire had, in fact, only placed the 3 sets of forks and spoons which were absolutely necessary. Now, it was the usage of the house, when the bishop had anyone to supper, to lay out the whole 6 sets of silver on the tablecloth and innocent ostentation. This graceful semblance of luxury was a kind of child's play, which was full of charm in that gentle and severe household, which raised poverty into dignity. Madame Magloire understood the remark, went out without saying a word, and a moment later the 3 sets of silver forks and spoons demanded by the bishop were glittering upon the cloth, symmetrically arranged before the 3 persons seated at the table.